I'm originally from Fiji. I'm of mixed blood, so obviously my family has a very a history and genealogy, like our background. With all the mixed race, we are very big on the hips and the boobs, and that's one of the reasons why also I think it's genetic. I'm not sure it's genetic or the time I started having children and my breast started to grow very, very enormously enlarged and very heavy. Even after I had my first child, my breast was very, very heavy with milk. I can remember it as far as 30 years ago. He's 30 now. And I moved to New Zealand 21 years ago and had another child after that at the age of about 33 to 35. So I still had bigger breasts then as well, and hadn't lost the sagginess or whatever, although I was very slim in my stature compared to some of my families. My breast part was very, very enlarged and heavy. I'm very grateful to be here, actually. I'm very, very grateful, and I'm also grateful to actually be able to share my experiences. Why? Because it's very important for people out there to know, women to know how important it is to have a quality of life, and I'm very happy about mine right now. I'm 50 and I've got 3 children. I've got the age from 30, 29 and 19. My 19-year-old came with me on this trip, and she had left earlier. She stayed for 4 days only. My trip from New Zealand was a very spontaneous decision. It was through my sister that I found out about this surgeon, actually, not the surgery. I did not know much about breast reduction at all. She was the one that told me about it, because I was complaining to her a few months ago how my back and my lower hip would pain. I'm a painter, and so I work very physical. I climb scaffolds and do a lot of physical work, and so she knows the intensity of my work, and I was telling her about it. She had visited this hospital, this surgery, once in the past, and she was part of somebody's surgery, and I saw that photo, and so I already felt connected to the doctor and to the place already in that sense. So as she told me, I googled what they had in New Zealand, where I live, and compared it to India, or the other way around. And I found out that India was much cheaper. So not only I felt safe already, it wasn't feasible, I took a loan, but everything is worth what I did, because this was very spontaneous. I didn't prepare financially to come over. I had to take photos when I hooked up with Dr. Ram. I can't really pronounce his name very well. By WhatsApp, and I wanted to find out a little bit more, especially the cost. And I found out it was, I think it was like 4 times, is it? Yeah, it's about 4,000 New Zealand dollars. And whatever they did in New Zealand was about 16 to 21,000. So when I added up the cost, it was cheaper for me and my daughter to fly over and do this, have this done, than for me to do it in New Zealand. So the next step was actually taking the top part of my body, taking a photo of my body. And when I did that, I felt deeper connected to the pain that I was going through than just saying it's a pain. It looked painful, it looked really heavy, and it was, you know, it just spoke for itself what I needed to do. And so I actually didn't give it a second thought. When I discussed this with my husband, he thought that it was all to do with cosmetics and whatever else, you know, being vain. However, when I showed him the photos, whoever I showed the photos to, I sent it to my daughter, the 19-year-old, and my sister in Dubai, and I showed the photo to my husband, and they were quite disturbed by the photo itself. And so I didn't have to convince him. The photo spoke for itself. I came over and got myself checked in and did the necessary requirements on the first day, and got myself an apartment. It was all connected to the hospital. And being a woman on your own, it could be a very unsafe place, but from day one, everything was taken care of. My needs, my food, what I was going to eat. I didn't have to leave the apartment, even though it was like 2 blocks away from where the surgery, the hospital is. I felt very secured, and I still do now, having all my needs met. So I came on the Monday, and the Tuesday was my surgery, and I think it was about 3 days later my stitches were off. I can't feel any pain at all. It's numb. I do feel sensation around my, they test you around your nipple to see whether you feel sensations, and I do. I haven't lost that. But it's very painless for whatever reason, and the stitches, when it came out, it's just a little prick. And that too was painless, and it still is painless. You're given tablets of a period of 5 days to the process of healing and medically to help you with your healing. And I'm very happy, and I'm so pleased. The doctor is very, very warm. I had already felt that, having my sister already known him, and his team is such a great team. I can vouch for that 100%. And although we have that kind of facilities back at home, I can assure you that the one-on-one, how you've been looked after individually on a one-to-one basis is very warm, and it helps you mentally and emotionally, you know, being away from your country and stuff. So I have been very blessed, and I'm very grateful to the support of Dr. Kartik and his staff, and even those that are connected to him and the surgery, with apartments and getting food for you, and the wheeling and dealing part of things, taxis if you need to go out. And I can assure you, I feel so great. I may sound very vain, but I feel very happy on the next part of my journey. I'm 50 now, so I'm just looking forward to the next 50 years that's coming. Thanks to the doctor, I really do better at my work and have a better quality of life. And even my family around me, I know that you know, they will be happy to see that I'm happy as well. So I hope that women out there listening to my interview will look into it. And you only live once, and if you're worried about pain, then I can assure you it's more painful to carry that weight with you. It's like carrying another person for the next how many years you're thinking, than to have it done once and for all, and it only takes 11 days. I'm off home soon. I'm going tomorrow. I leave tomorrow, and I'm very grateful again. And even if you want to contact me to speak to me privately, I'm sure the hospital can arrange for that as well. I don't mind telling anybody on a one-to-one basis, whether it's via Viber or email or whatever else. But I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Doc. I just want to tell you I visited my doctor and the nurse, and the doctor was very, very, very impressed with the surgery and how the healing has begun. The nurse also, as she was removing some of the stitches, they were very impressed with the work. Thank you so much, Doc. I thought that you should know this. I'm so excited, and so are my doctor and his nurse. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. God bless, and you take care.